I just love how much easier it is to make perfect circles in Jurassic World Evolution 2. Like, watching this just fills me with happiness. It makes park builds so much easier. We're back with another exhibit speed build, this time for the THERIZINOSAURUS. Thank you so much for checking out the video. I hope it will inspire you. If it does, give the video a like and subscribe for more. This THERIZINOSAURUS exhibit takes inspiration from the Biosyn compound, so we can actually look at the Biosyn compound at the edge of this Biosyn Valley map, and I took a screenshot and I'm just using that as reference because I'm going to be recreating the path pattern inside the exhibit. You know I love some good path, and I thought it was pretty interesting, pretty different to put path inside of the exhibit and have the THERIZINOSAURUS walking around there as if they are inside the Biosyn compound courtyard. I thought that was an interesting idea, something different. Of course, I toyed with the idea of also giving the THERIZINOSAURUS a high security, super max facility kind of exhibit, but I wanted to go in a different direction this time around, and I think this is a pretty cool idea, and I think it just looks very different, and that's exactly what I want, and that is something I hope that you'll take away from this video and use for your own park builds, just something completely different. Now, I have used path in my exhibits before, but not to this extent, but I really like how it turned out. So I'm just recreating the path pattern here. Thankfully, we have pretty good colors for recreating the path that is inside the Biosyn courtyard, so that is a handy bonus. It is a little bit difficult to perfectly mimic the pattern with the path tool that we have, and also, of course, this exhibit is a lot bigger than the actual courtyard inside of the compound, and you'll see that when I start putting in the decorations later. You'll see just how much bigger this path design really is, but I wanted the THERIZINOSAURUS to have plenty of space, and I'm actually happy I did that for something that I changed later on in the video, but we'll get there when we'll get there. So right now I'm just using my reference to recreate this this path pattern that is inside the Biosyn compound, and I've actually been taking inspiration from this sort of path art that they have for more builds that I've done, just to give it that Biosyn feel. Like, for example, my Better Biosyn Sanctuary also took a little bit of pathing inspiration from what we see inside the Biosyn compound, because, you know, that's their branding, that's their look, that's their thing. So we're sort of mimicking that to create that Biosyn aesthetic, if you will. Now, this is just a lot of path art going on here. Now, I didn't want to do a high security enclosure for the THERIZINOSAURUS, and actually this whole build doesn't really take into account just how territorial the THERIZINOSAURUS is supposed to be. I'm taking like creative liberties here. Obviously, we're in sandbox, so none of that really matters. Oh my god, you see me putting the decorations down here. You can really see just how much bigger it is now than it is in the actual courtyard. Again, I just wanted the Theris to have some space. But yeah, we're in sandbox, so we're just dealing with ideal conditions. We don't have to worry about our Theris actually being aggressive or territorial or anything like that. And it was just fun to create an exhibit like this for them. In my Better Biosyn Sanctuary build, for example, I did isolate it and put it away from other dinosaurs and stuff like that, so I did take its lore, its personality into account there. But you don't have to do that every single time, you know, you can come up with your own stories. By the way, you might notice that at the front right there, that section is invisible fencing, and the rest of the perimeter is concrete fencing. Of course, I wanted to use the invisible fences. They're new to the game. They're one of my new favorite toys to play around with, so I wanted to use that. And it's also a viewing opportunity for the guests. Now, guests don't technically work that way. They need viewing attractions. But, you know, in a perfect world, they would just be able to see over that fence and see into the enclosure. And I sort of put like some rock formation over there to make it like more like they're glimpsing into the enclosure. They can't see the full thing. If they want to see the full thing, they have to go into those viewing towers over there, or an attraction that I added later on. Actually, a little later on, I ended up replacing one of the viewing galleries with a gyrosphere tour, which I'm happy with that decision. I support that decision. Again, on the perimeter there, on the outside, you can see that I'm sort of doing the Biosyn pathing thing where it sort of jumps out and in at certain points. And here at this invisible fence section, I'm adding the guest section for this exhibit build. That is something I always include in my exhibit speed builds. There's always also a guest section. For me personally, those are just a lot of fun to build, so I wanted to showcase what you can do with that, you know, making specific guest sections for your exhibits. And it just makes it a more complete build, which I hope that you'll appreciate and again, take plenty of inspiration from. So I have like these two plazas in there, and that's just gonna be like a little guest section with seating and stuff like that, like right in front of the invisible fences so they can look into the enclosure while they are enjoying their overpriced burger and stuff like that. Of course, we needed some facilities to actually populate this this exhibit build with not just the THERIZINOSAURUS, but also with guests. And yeah, we're nearing the end. This is like the decorative part of it. So I'm using a lot of the Biosyn DLC decorations. I really like how they look. They could have used a little bit more variation in the pieces, but they're pretty nice. Oh, I elevated this little section just to make it a better opportunity for guests to look into the exhibit. If it's raised up a little bit, they can look just a little bit further. And I really like the effect of that. So I raised it up a teeny tiny bit and then just placed more bushes because you can never have too many bushes. Trees and stuff like that. Again, decorations, parasols for seating and all of that good stuff. Now, in just a little bit, I will be showing you what the finished result actually looks like with some cinematic shots of the exhibit. And I really hope that you'll take plenty of inspiration from it and that you'll incorporate it into your own parks. And obviously not every exhibit is going to be using path inside the exhibit. But you know, if you want to try it out, I would really recommend it just to make it look different from what we always do in the game. I wouldn't recommend it for every single exhibit, but just to switch it up once in a while. I think it turned out pretty nice and I really like the result of it. I'm overselling it right now, I shouldn't do that. Okay, so here, as you can see, I'm replacing one of the viewing galleries with a gyrosphere tour, and I'm just snaking it through and making thankful use of the fact that we can cross path now with the tours, and it's just another viewing opportunity for our guests, which creates a really cool effect. We interrupt our regularly scheduled programming to bring you the cutest animation. I only caught it just in time. And this is an overview of the finished exhibit in case you want to recreate it in your own parks. This exhibit build was actually really easy and really fast. So if you want to try it out, I would definitely recommend it. I think I spent less than an hour in total, but a lot of that was just finicking with path, honestly. Let me know in a comment down below if you're ever gonna try some path art or just path in and of itself in your own enclosures. I would really love to know. And for now, I hope that you'll enjoy the rest of the showcase, and I want to thank you again for watching this video. If you're not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing to the channel and leave a like on your way out. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and until next time, enjoy this exhibit.